Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this project we're going to make a card for him. Now last week Anna graced us with her presence on our UK screens and we had lots of new goodies, which means I've got lots of new goodies to be able to play with and make projects for you. So today I thought it would be great to start with him because obviously I'm not saying he's difficult, but sometimes he makes us think in more ways than one. So I thought it would be great to do a card that could be used for a friend, for Father's Day, for his birthday. You could adapt it with the sentiment of your choice. So without further ado, I'm going to get on. Everything I do use will be on my blog. I will put a full list on there for you to be able to see everything, and I'll put the details of what the items are called and what the kits are as well, so that it gives you a good idea what you're looking for basically. So without further ado, we'll crack on. The first thing I need is my base card. Now this is a square white card, and on our cardometer it measures a full 6 by 6 inches. There we go. Now my cardometer is something that I've devised to be able to give you an idea at home of what size I'm using, so it gives you perspective and it helps for any new card makers to sort of think, oh well, what size do I need? So that kind of helps. Now this is a true 6 by 6, and you'll know that I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about when you buy cards, especially square ones, they're not always the size that you want 6 by 6, and sometimes they're smaller. This is a true 6 by 6. So I'm going to use my bone folder from the Anna Griffin tool set and make sure I've got a nice, clean, smooth crease along the side of the card. And the first thing we're going to do is the inside. Now, as I said, this could be adapted for whatever theme and occasion you want to use it. It doesn't have to be for him. You could use floral papers. It doesn't. This actually is a non-specific message on it, but I think it's more male than female. You'll see as we go along. So the first thing I've got is I've cut out a square from the Perfect palette from Anna's, and this was the original, and it's got the little stripes on it in the navy blue. I've cut out a square for the base of the card inside, and I've got double-sided tape on it. And for you eager beavers at home, you can see my arrow that points to which way is up and which way is down. Which, now I know it's funny because obviously it's just stripy paper, but as I cut everything out and I match it all up, I often think, oh well, that looks better that way around. So that's when I put the arrows on, or I put the arrows on to stop me looking like an idiot and getting something the wrong way around if it's a pattern paper. So there we go. So that's the base of our insert with our stripy lines from the Perfect palette. Now the next thing I've done is I've taken one of the Perfect Patterns for Him cards, and there's 2 sizes in the kit, and I had them on last Wednesday, and there's 2 sizes in the kit. There's a 7 by 5 and the slightly smaller one, and this, in fact, I shall just tell you what size the slightly smaller one is. It is just under the A6. There we go. So I've taken the slightly smaller card, which I've seen a few of your comments where you've said that you only use the bigger cards. Now, like me, I like the 7 by 5. The smaller ones are ideal for adding as inserts or for layers if you don't use the smaller size cards. So don't be thinking they're going to be wasted, because they're not. You will find 1,000 ways to use them. And I've used them before in my projects, and as we go on, we'll use them for different things and different ideas. So I've taken one of the smaller cards, I've cut it in half, so I've cut off the plain back, and then I've stamped using the For Him rubber stamps. Now these were available a long time ago, but they work so well with the For Him patterns and the cards and the toppers that we're going to use today as well. So I've stamped in the middle with a navy blue ink, and it just says another year older, another year wiser, happy birthday. There's enough room for your message, your to and from, and I've just got this on flat tape on the back, and it's going to sit perfectly through the centre of our base. Now, who'd have thought that card there would make such a perfect insert? But it does look great, and it matches so well with the perfect palette. Now that's our insert complete, so we can go to the front now and make a gorgeous front, and I'm looking forward to you seeing this one. I've just used my bone folder again to make sure that the edge is nice and neat. And the first layer that we have is the striped card, again the same as we used for the inside, the perfect palette. And I'm simply going to add this as our first layer on the base of the front of the card. Now our second layer is a nice off red, I would say more of a burnt red than a bright red, and it just matches in perfectly. This is just general cardstock, is this layer. So you could use Anna's metallic, but I thought no, we'll just use more of a general card here. So this is our next layer, and we'll just pop it through the centre like so. There we go. Our next layer is again from the Perfect Patterns For Him, and I've just trimmed the card down into the square size that I want, and I've got flat tape on the back of it, and you see my little arrow again. So this is patterned. I didn't want to make myself look silly by putting it the wrong way around. So we'll pop that over the top of our previous red layer. There we go. So now we've got the base of our card sorted out. Now next I've had some fun, and I've made 4 rosettes, and I've used the Seafarer collection from Anna. Do you remember that one? Gorgeous designer collection that had lots of papers in. So I've taken I've made 4 rosettes, and I'm going to set these just to one side for now, but I wanted to show you them. We'll put 2 at each side, because the next thing I've done is I've cut a rather odd shape of white card, and I've tinted it using watercolour pens into like a blue mix. I've used a light blue and a dark blue, and I've just scribbled on there, so it just shows that you don't have to be a full colour artist. But what I have done is I've taken one of the collage toppers For Him, and this sheet of card I've just trimmed it to fit behind the collage topper, so that through the lattice work you just get the tone of the colour rather than all of the colour, as it were. And that's why it kind of looks like I've not whitewashed it, blue washed it shall we say, and just used, you know, a different colour in fact. So what we've done is we've got that on 3D foam that I'm simply going to position through the centre of the card. Now I'm not going to press it down, I'm just going to lay it down for now. And then I'm going to take my topper that I've got double-sided tape on the back of, and I'm just going to position that over the top of the blue layer like that. So we'll just get that a little bit straight, and then the 4 rosettes that we've made, now these have got double-sided tape on the back of them, and what you could do just to give them a little bit of slip till you get them positioned right is add a little bit of glue on the back, because we're going to position them in the corners So we want to make sure they're kind of where we want them to be, and just poking out at the edges of the topper. So we'll just squeeze them in, and that should give us a little bit of wriggle room with them. And then we'll just do the bottom two as well. And this is, you know, one of those that you could just use so many different paper choices with. You could make it floral, you could keep it masculine, and it would work for all different occasions. So the last one, just adding a little bit of glue on the back, popping it under, so that we can make sure we've got all four in the corners in the right places, and we've got our little bit of wiggle room to make sure that they're just about right. And now we can press that down. There we go. And now to finish the card, I've got two little silver bows, and I'm just going to add them at either side of the sentiment. They're on 3D foam. I've put them on there and press that one down, and that's our card finished. So I know it says for my wonderful friend, but that could be a guy, it could be a girl, and that's where it comes in, where you could easily adapt it and make it, you know, a little bit more floral, little bit less manly, or you could make it more manly. I just think that's a gorgeous card, gorgeous inside, gorgeous outside, stands up nicely. Now I think you might need a little bit of extra packing for that. You can see the height that we've got from the 3D foam underneath the topper. You can't see the foam obviously as you're looking at it right way on, or through the sides when when you open the card, etc. And you won't see it when it's stood on a mantelpiece. So that's just a gorgeous card. And I do hope this has given you some inspiration of how to use your new goodies from Anna, as well as some of your old goodies, because that's what I enjoy. I like mixing and matching and going through Anna's full range to see what's going to work and what's versatile and what we can do with it, and to stretch our imagination and our creativity. Please check my blog for lots more projects. If you've ever got anything to say, please feel free. I love hearing from you. I can't reply on YouTube, but I can reply on my blog and on Facebook. So please feel free to share. Give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.